Alright everybody, we've hit a milestone here on the channel with now going over 1 million total lifetime views. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed and is enjoying the content here. And to celebrate, I figured it's time to make a special video airing out my grievances that I had with the rest of YouTube gaming. Because that's how you win more people, right? So this video will be split into kind of the comedic part starting first and then the more serious stuff later on. This is a way to hopefully mitigate some of the rage that this video will spawn, but we'll see. So, to begin with, I've noticed that other people stream. I know, it's strange, right, here on YouTube and Twitch. And did you know there are streamers out there who get paid by their fan base telling them exactly how to beat levels and get through tough parts, and then they earn more money for doing what they were told in chat? So you're telling me I'm sitting here like an idiot playing video games and figuring out all on my own for free? I mean, what the hell is going on here? If we went by that logic, for me beating Celeste, Bloodborne, and Neo, I think I'm owed at least $10,000 for that. And if it wasn't for my imaginary watch here needing its batteries changed, I would sit here and wait. The only person who ever gives me advice is Child, and he just tells me to dodge roll through everything. How does dodge rolling work in TIS 100? You can't dodge roll in assembly language. Although, that does give me an idea for my third book series, Dodge Rolling Through Programming. Every chapter will be a picture of me dodge rolling through asterisks, ASCII codes, and semicolons. We'll charge $200 for that book. And I'm sure every programmer watching this right now just got a sharp splitting pain right here in their temple. And I apologize for that. The second point is that I noticed that a lot of the thumbnail art from other gaming YouTubers is just very lazy. And it occurs in different tiers of laziness. At the bottom, it is just literally them just copying and pasting the game's logo and maybe a number sign in the corner, and that's it. There is no channel logos, there's no avatar. It just takes like 5 seconds to do, and that's about it. The second tier is what I like to call the vanity thumbnails. This is when it will just be a copy-paste image of the person or their avatar in just various poses. Because I love to see 20 different thumbnails of people going like this, or this, or this, or this, and so on and so forth. Maybe if people like that so much, we'll make that our new Patreon goal. Patreon supporters can donate to decide what Josh reaction shot they want for 30 videos a month. I'm sure that will be the missing link for our Patreon campaign. The third tier is when people just try to make these just very they think it's artistic, but it really isn't thumbnails. Well, they'll just copy and paste various images. They may put sunglasses on somebody. They'll have like SJW in the corner of their video, and that's it. And I just sit there thinking to myself going, wow, they must have spent, minutes at a time trying to come up with that clever thumbnail. I'm sitting over here trying to come up with abstract or coming up with concrete ways to represent abstract concepts of game design. Have you ever thought about coming up with a catchy thumbnail to describe RPG progression in action-based games? It's not easy to do. And I had to sit there and listen to I Am the Walrus beforehand just to come up with some kind of inspiration. Because thumbnails going forward for our design videos will be in the form of an abstract painting or an asset trip, depending upon your perspective. But with that said, that's the first bit of cathartic release for me. I'm going to take a quick break, and after this word to our Patreon supporters, I do have some serious discussions I want to have about some problems. But first, here's our shout out. And now a quick shout out to the supporters over on patreon.com/gwbeiser. Alright, we're back, and no relevant game footage for today because I don't think there is any for our topic. But, like I said at the start, it's time for more of a serious discussion about some of the issues I have with some of the thoughts on YouTube gaming. And this comes from various people that I've been watching anonymously. And of course, I won't be naming names because I'm not that crazy to do it. But there are several things that I heard over 2018 that kind of raised the warning light in my head that have been bothering me. And it's time to talk about them. So the first thing, and this is always the ever popular one, it's the idea that YouTube or Twitch is in fact a job. If you want to annoy a mid to big YouTuber streamer, just tell them that it is not a job and see what their reaction is. And no, it won't work on me either. But you'll see this level of self-importance from a lot of people who earn either a decent to really good living off of being on YouTube or Twitch. And it's easy to think that yes, this is a job, that you are spending a lot of time doing this, and you can consider this as work along those lines. But the problem is that it's not. YouTube and Twitch are platforms, and saying that it is a job is as idiotic as an actor saying, I get paid by TV. No, it is simply a medium in which that you're able to earn work. It's almost akin to comedians and comedy. You can tell jokes on a street corner or in a subway station, and that's fine, but you're not going to get any money for that. You need to go to a venue. You need to get yourself recognized enough that people want to come out and pay you for doing that. And the big name streamers and YouTubers, they are at that point. But again, saying that you work for YouTube doesn't really apply unless you literally work at YouTube. You work an 8 to 10 hour day. You have benefits. You get paid an hourly wage. And that's not what you do when you're a YouTuber or a streamer. You get paid based on people's interest in you, and that is not a job. Now, the second point is something I heard from, I think they're considered a mid-size YouTube channel, and they were complaining about how because their channel was down due to some kind of issue, that they wouldn't be able to stream Assassin's Creed Odyssey early. And they said something along the lines of, I know people don't like it, but it's part of the job. It's only fair that we get these games before anyone else so that we get higher page ranking for our channels. And no, that level of entitlement does not gel with me. Because you have a mid or large channel does not give you any level of privilege to get games early. And if the extent of your content is you playing games before anyone else, then that is just trash content in my opinion. And I'll be coming back to that one in a few minutes. But again, the people who are complaining or saying that it's fair, they probably don't touch most indie games. And either they'll ignore any contacts from any developers, or they just don't really follow them at all. They pretty much only care about the new release lists on GameStop or IGN. Speaking of which, that takes me to the third point. Somebody who shall not be named got into trouble earlier in 2018 for saying that anyone who plays games early are just paid shills. And that is such an idiotic statement that I've been holding on to, waiting for the right moment to air that one. And it's finally time. Anyone who thinks that because you play games early automatically makes you a shill is a moron. Because they're the kind of person who only thinks of new video games as, again, the top releases on GameStop. And their busy time may only be the holiday season or September to November when all the big games are being released. They probably don't even know of, much less have played, the majority of games that are being released throughout the year. They may play like 5 to 10 games a year. I play 5 games a week, thanks to all the independent games I get keys for or I request. And it is a lot of work to keep up with all those games being released. And I'm not even doing that good of a job either. There's still 30 to 40 game keys I've gotten keys for, or 30 to 40 games I've gotten keys for that I haven't had a chance to play, and one of the reasons why I'm doing the Indie Game Spotlight stream. Because there is no way I'll be able to play them all, much less afford all the games that are being released on a day-to-day basis. As I said in a post on Game Wisdom, there's at least a good 20 to 30 games being released daily. And while they may be of varying qualities and such, that doesn't mean anything when you have to look at them all and try to give a shout to the developers who are trying to do their damnedest to get a game release. And again, just saying that anyone who plays games early like that, who doesn't have to pay for them, as a shill, is just a gross misrepresentation of what it actually means to look at the game industry professionally. And speaking of, that takes me to my final point, and that is the rise of this almost TMZ style of game criticism. And again, I'm not going to name names, but you know who they are. The people who will just immediately find whatever is a topic on Kotaku or Polygon, and then they'll make a 5 to 10 minute video of a non-opinion on the subject. And they'll say things like, oh, you can trust me, I'm a gamer. Look at all this stuff behind me of game boxes and posters and paraphernalia. I'm a gamer just like you. And chances are most of them have just nothing to say on the topic. And again, it's just a way to try to be the first one to talk about a topic that they have no real insight into and get those quick views. The majority of the people who go this route, they'll have thumbnails like, so-and-so is being murdered. Something is dying. The game industry is dead. It's dying. This is death. This will never happen again. And again, all the various news pieces. And you'll notice that these channels, despite having such a big subscriber base or getting a lot of views, they don't talk to game developers at all. Like I said, I've been interviewing game designers since 2012 from all around the game industry. At this point, I have over 400, probably even close to 500 interviews under my belt. And for me, I can't sit here and just ramble on about topics and expect you guys to consider that as educational. Like I said, I get a lot of my knowledge about game design from talking to people who actually make those games. And to sit here and see these channels that, again, it's just non-opinions on the subject from people who I don't know if they really understand game design can be a little bit infuriating. And it really sucks that that seems to be the level of discourse on YouTube gaming. That you don't see too many channels that will interview developers. I know one that I do like is Errant Signal, who they do their interviews and they do their documentaries about game design. Or channels like when we talk to people who will cover a topic because they're versed in it. This is why I like talking to game developers, because that's how you get the real knowledge about game design outside of just designing your own games. But again, the people who have the time to design fully fledged titles, they don't have the time to spend making, daily videos on game design topics. And I hope that with this channel, with the few that are also out there, that we're trying to raise the level of discourse and discussion on what it means to make video games for a living and to actually study game design. Because without sounding too hyperbole here, I'm pretty sure that I've forgotten more about game design than some of these channels will ever know about what it means to make a successful video game. But that is kind of the end of my grievances for now. Maybe we'll do another video at 2 million views. So, thank you for everyone watching my little cathartic release here. We'll be back with more game design and game industry related discussions real soon. But be sure to check back for daily discussions on game design here and on Game Wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games for real. And I'll see you all next time. If you're looking for another book about game design, be sure to check out my first title, 20 Essential Games to Study, out now. Oh, and one last thing before we go on this video. I figure using my 1 million lifetime view power, or whatever I get for this, I'm going to officially decide what is considered being a gamer. Because as you know, there are plenty of fake gamer boys and girls out there, and I know the perfect metric that will solve this problem for once and for all. So, here it is. Going forward, the only way you can call yourself a gamer is if you can do this with your hands. Right? Like that. That's my edict. I have said it. Go forward and spread that information to everybody watching, and hopefully I have officially solved this conundrum. But that's it. So thanks again for watching. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoy things, be sure to do all the liking and subscribing that the kids are doing these days. Check out our Discord channel link down below where we hang out and chat game design, and come back later tonight for our regular streamings. But that's it, and tune in for more great content here and on Game Wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games.